When I think of the goodness of Jesus and all that he has done for me, my soul cries out, hallelujah. I thank God for having saved me. And so here is Peter perched in this window, preaching to this crowd, making it clear and known that they're not intoxicated, they're not drunk, they're not making noise in response to the revelry and the wine that the crowd may have thought that they had consumed, but they're making noise because they had seen the mighty works that God had done. They had seen Jesus feed 5,000, two small fish and 5 barley loaves. They had seen Jesus restore the sight of blind Bartimaeus. They had seen Jesus cause a man to take up a bed that he used to travel on, put that bed on his back as a testimony to the power of the Lord. They had seen Lazarus literally rotting in a grave for 4 days, but Jesus standing at the mouth of that tomb and calling Lazarus forth and restoring Lazarus back to life. They had seen the wonderful things that Jesus had done, the preaching, the teaching, the profundity of his ministry. They had seen him outshine Theudius and Menachem and Hezekiah the bandit and the other pretenders to the messianic throne. But now they were seeing something else. They were seeing something different. Yes, they had witnessed and they had seen signs and wonders, but now they had seen the Lord having returned from the grave. And there was no greater miracle. There was no greater sign. There was no greater wonder that Jesus could offer these former failed disciples who were now becoming empowered apostles than to present his physical body to them, that they might examine that body and inspect that body and come to the irreversible and the irrevocable conclusion that Jesus was not dead, but that he indeed was alive. And what is interesting to me is that as we look at the book of Acts in chapter 2 here, you'll notice that Peter does not preach about signs and wonders. He doesn't preach about what Jesus said. He doesn't preach about whether or not Jesus was a zealot or whether or not Jesus was a Pharisee or a Sadducee, whether or not Jesus was a derivative of the Essene community, whether or not Jesus had been at some point in his life a Qumranite. No, there is a single message. All of that fades away.